Something really interesting about manifestation that really has landed in my world and is landing for my clients. And that is around manifestation, whether you're consciously trying to manifest love or money or and basically anything. It's that a lot of us are taught that if you want love or if you want money or more money or peace or different circumstances, that you need to be constantly working on yourself. That's like fixing your mindset, watching your thoughts, doing a million different techniques, following a million different how-tos. The truth of the matter is that the more that you're trying to manifest, regardless of what it is, the more tense your body will be. And that tension actually makes it harder for things to come. And that's only one piece of it, but it's really what I want to talk about today. The more that you're trying to do something, the more that you're solidifying that you don't have the thing. So that's another piece of this. But if you are actively trying to manifest something, it's almost like it's so funny because I'm just seeing this meme where it's like I'm not going to say the whole thing, but it's like unclench your jaw, loosen up your shoulders, let your shoulders drop, right? It's like coming back into your body because you don't even realize how tense you are. And in that tension, it is really difficult to call in, to manifest, to create changes in your life. I want to talk about that in this video so that you can stop trying so hard to make things happen and start allowing yourself to actually receive what it is that you desire. When you first got into manifestation, or if you've been on this journey for a while, you probably have been working on your mindset, watching your thoughts, because thoughts create, right? Like what you think is what you are. I'm trying to think of like some of the sayings that people use. And while mindset is wildly important, you can actually prevent results. And I don't like saying results like that, but you can actually like prevent your desires from manifesting because it's like it becomes something that you have to do instead of being who you are, right? Another thing, it was huge. It was huge. And I do think that these things have their place. However, when you get to this place of maybe feeling stuck, it's time to start looking at this. But one of the things is specifically around money is fixing your blocks. If you are not receiving the money that you desire, you need to fix your money blocks. And it's the same thing with mindset, where yes, that it is important. Once you get to a place where you understand manifestation, where you understand co-creation, focusing so much on those pieces can really prevent you from receiving because you're in this outward movement, this outward doing, and that is like it can repel. It can create in your system unsafety. I don't know if that's the right word, if that is a word. You could be in this place physically where you are not open and receptive to receiving because all of your energy and focus is on what is happening outside of you, what you are doing, and not who you are being. What can happen is underneath all of this work and this intentionality is or can be this belief of if I stop doing these things, a super common one is journaling. And I love journaling. I think it's such a useful tool. However, if you put your power or give your power to a technique or to a way of operating instead of actually what has power, which is yourself. So it's like, if I stop doing this, I'll lose everything. If I don't do manifestation, if I don't do steps one, two, three, I won't receive what it is that I desire. And it's like so counterintuitive. It's so counterproductive. It is so counter, like I'm looking for the word that. floated by. I just lost it. But it is so unhelpful because you think that you're doing the right thing. You think that you're showing up and doing the work and performing in a certain way. And why am I not receiving what it is that I desire? The doing is not how you receive, right? And having techniques, doing things like journaling, working on your mindset, looking through beliefs that you have around money, looking at the way that you interact in relationships. All of these things are super important, but if you're not allowing yourself grace and time to regulate your nervous system, to learn to know that you are worthy and deserving and able to have whatever it is that you desire and like lean back and actually receive it. It's not that you won't receive, it's just you reach a limit and you probably will start to repel. And this is happening a lot because there's so much focus on how to do the things and less on how to actually open yourself to receiving, to relax into it. And this is actually something I struggled with. I'm laughing at myself. This is something that I struggled with for so long because I was somebody that was, a very hard worker. And if I want something, I'm going to work for it. And shifting into not believing that I have to work so hard for what I desire can be a bit of a mind fuck and can be a bit of like learning to feel safe in the calm, learning to feel held, learning to understand the way that energy works differently. And it makes receiving feel safer and it makes receiving come with less ripples. So, for example, of that is like receiving money and not having like this is just an example. Like, say you receive $1,000 and then you get a bill for $1,500, right? It's like that can happen when you're not regulated, when you're coming from a place of needing to prove yourself, needing to work hard, needing to do all of these things instead of allowing yourself to lean back and receive in a new way. And when you're able to do that, it can come in peacefully. For a while, it was like not, I don't want to say waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's more like, fuck, I'm bored, right? Like if there's not all these things that I have to work through, if there's not all these things to work on within myself, if there's not something that I need to be thinking about and overanalyzing and problems to figure out, then what am I supposed to be doing, right? And like it's not shutting that off, but it's allowing that to relax and allowing things to come to you is super fucking uncomfortable when you're not used to that. But when you learn to regulate your nervous system, when you learn to, yes, know and utilize the techniques when it's the right time and place, when it's time to notice your thoughts, when it's time to, oh shit, like I have this belief about receiving more money, or I have, like my avoided tendencies are coming out while I'm dating, right? Like, and there's different tools to use for that. But when you learn that receiving is held within your body and learning to regulate your nervous system, like I said, unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders, like relax into it, it becomes the word that just like it's like it's fucking magical. It's magical and it's like wow, I didn't know that it could be that easy, that it could feel this fucking good. Most of us, especially with like the state of the world being what it is, tend to be in survival mode, tend to be going from one crisis to the next and thinking that that's how life is supposed to be. And it's not. And you get to be regulated regardless of what's happening outside of you. And what does that look like, right? So, I mean, there's so many different things. But for example, like in the day to day. So something that I know most people are like, ugh, about is like, say a bill comes. So like, especially in this area, um, electric. So say the electric bill comes and it's more than it was last month and you're like, what the fuck? Like this is, and it's like you can feel. the tension, you can feel the anxiety, the negative thoughts, whatever coming up. And then they're like, "Oh, I gotta receive more money. I gotta manifest more money. I gotta pay this bill. What am I gonna do?" And it's like from that state, it's really difficult to receive. It's not sustainable. It's just not sustainable. And the other piece of it is like when you get in that like clenched state, it's kind of the visual that I'm getting is like your body is like rock hard because you're clenched, because you're in survival, because you're bracing for impact, right? And it's like this isn't exactly it, but it's like the things that you desire are coming to you and they just like bounce off because you're super clenched. I mean, that's not exactly how it works, but that's how they want me to explain it. When you relax, when you are regulated, and this is not, you're not going to be regulated 24/7. That's not it. But when you're intentional about, okay, I feel anxious about this bill. It's like, okay, let's like slow things down. Let's allow I don't know why. It's just like there I'm seeing like a Zen garden or like yeah, like the sand and you like allow yourself to calm and it's not like oh you calm down and then money is just gonna fall out of the sky. Maybe, but if you calm down, it's like you can actually think and process and when opportunities come you will be able to see them when things start to shift. You will be able to, it's like reach out and grab it, is what they're showing me, right? Safety is what allow things to come closer. And it's like it's the same thing in relationship. If you're dating or if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're triggered, I hate that word too, but and you're not regulated, and it's like I'm laughing because it's like whether you're avoidant or anxiously attached or whatever the way you respond and react to things, you're gonna repel them, you're gonna push them away, you're gonna start a fight, you're gonna whatever, avoid, like ghost the person because you don't feel safe receiving. When you are allowing yourself to be regulated, you can see the situation for what it is, and you can be like, oh, well, that kind of sucked. Like, can we talk about it? Have healthier dynamic. But you can't do that if you're constantly activated, if you're constantly dysregulated. This is the baseline. If you can get this down, manifestation, receiving becomes fun because it actually feels good. It feels good to receive things. But the things that happen when you stop actively like trying, and it's not that you don't try, it looks different when you're less focused on changing what's happening or I've got to receive more money or he didn't text me back and what am I supposed to do? And you're like having trust in yourself and holding your body and it's like allowing the universe to surprise you. What tends to happen is people become more responsive. People react to you better. One of my things is like I tend to be a bit more on the avoidant side. And so like when I go out in the world, I like armor up, right? And so something that I've been practicing is not doing that. And what has been happening is I have been getting free coffee. I have people are like, you can go ahead of me in line. Like all of these wonderful, you know, experiences have been happening because I'm allowing. Before I go into a store, I regulate and I allow myself to be relaxed and receptive and, in a place where I'm willing to see opportunities. And before I started doing this, the things that would happen is going to a restaurant and the waiter or waitress never coming to the table because they just totally were oblivious to my existence. Those types of things would happen a lot. And it's really that like this is exactly what I'm talking about, but it's like on a universal level, like this is just the way that it works. And not only do things come and you're able to see them and grab, like they're like grab the bull by the horns. You're able to like somebody paid for my coffee. And it's like, I might not have let that register before if that would have happened because I wasn't open and receptive to it, right? But things like that feel easier. Something else, they're like, say this, is like if somebody paid for my coffee before, I would have been like, oh, now I gotta pay for the person behind me, or oh, like I owe something. It was like there was an expectation on me. And when you're in this relaxed state, it's like just receiving for the sake of receiving. It just feels easier, it feels better. And those types of things happen more and more. You stop chasing and you start being met. And this is especially true in dating. When you're less like outwardly focused and you're regulating and relaxing, they're like, just say relax. When you start to relax into things, it's like people are able to come closer to you. You don't have to be like, are you okay? Like, why didn't you send me a message this morning? What's going on? And it's like, stop, like stop it. Not that that is a bad thing, but when it's coming from the energy of lack, it's not great. It's not great. Manifestation is not something you force. And even if you're like, okay, fine, like I don't even fucking care about manifestation. The way of moving throughout life, it doesn't feel good to force. It doesn't feel good. And most of us convince ourselves that it does because that's how we've had to learn to survive. And I'm offering a different way. Plain and simple, a different fucking way, because it doesn't have to be so damned exhausting just to exist. And regulating your nervous system opens up so many doors, whether you're actively trying to receive something or not, you will just feel better. You will just feel better. So I would love to hear any questions or comments you have in the comment section below.